man. What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel here.
I'm Justin Mitchell.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the Earthquaker Devices Overdrive pedal.
That's right.
And I'm just going to be kind of jamming out, doing my thing. Justin's going to be twiddling the knobs because he's the master here.
Yeah.
The Richard Attenborough of
I'll
pedals.
take it. I will
right?
take
That's
it.
kind of like what we're talking about.
Take it. That's beautiful.
But we've got kind of something special here because there's a lot of pedal demos out there.
Right.
We want to do something a little bit different. What's the most common way that people play pedal demos?
Oh man, always with the blues licks.
Always just like.
Right. Yeah.
So anytime I get too into a blues lick,
right.
Nothing against the blues. I don't want the blues people to be commenting.
Yeah,
but
right.
we don't want these to be your standard pedal demo videos. Every time I play something too bluesy, Justin's gonna call me out, and I have to put $1 into the blues swear jar.
Blues swear jar.
Right? So that's gonna be kind of like my penalty to try to maintain some kind of creativity with these riffs.
Let's do this.
But anyways, I want to talk about this pedal real quick. What you just heard, and again, this is PRS going through a Mesa Boogie and the clean channel. Everything is set to 12.
Why don't you show everybody
There's
what the clean sound?
Right, so clean sound just like this. PRS S2 in the middle position, right? Full tone, full volume, everything.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
That's what
Sounds
we're working
good.
with.
So we have the Palisades here, which is a big brother to Earthquaker Devices, the Dunes pedal. Actually, honestly, I don't know if it's the Dunes or just Dunes, but it's the big brother.
Either way, Dunes.
So what it is an incredibly versatile 2-channel overdrive pedal, right? So you have the activate switch is activating this gain A. Gain B is activating this gain B circuit. So it's just a higher gain circuit. And
kind of like a lot of amps have 2 channels, and you can
Exactly.
do like a channel switching thing. So you can dial in 2 types of distortion at once. You can switch back and forth.
yeah, my favorite way to use it so far is to have a good kind of like barely broken up setting here, right, for the chords, and then to be able to switch to something like this for the lead. That's close.
That's toeing the
close.
line.
That's
I don't
close.
think that cost me. I mean, a pentatonic bend?
No,
that's not.
I'm just.
All right. I probably shouldn't be able to make a case. You should probably just have to. Anyways, continue on.
Right. So the game B is for the lead for that. Basically, I'm gonna do a really quick rundown of what the knobs do, and then I'm just gonna set some different settings. Sean's gonna rock out, and you guys can really hear what this pedal is capable of, which is a lot, man.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
Awesome pedal.
So-
And it looks sexy.
Yeah,
Come on.
it really does.
They do a good job on that.
So basically, what we have is the voice knob here is going to change to different types of overdrive and distortion. Basically, one is that's the cleanest, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
And I'll kind of drive the.
right. Exactly.
Again, it's very responsive. So
It's
if I play it
yeah.
like this, you're not going to really get the same.
Yep. So before I finish talking about the bandwidth or the voice knob, I have to talk about this bandwidth knob. Basically, what it does is when it's at 1, it's the cleanest. When it's at 5,
Fuzzy-ish.
yeah,
Right?
it really opens it up,
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna go back to we'll keep it at 3 for now. So and then we go to 2, which actually 2 has a lot of volume. It's still pretty overdriven, right? And then as we increase the bandwidth, it just gets. Oh man, that's great, right? That's good. Right. So
I feel like I'm just going to play arpeggios to avoid playing blues
that's right.
stuff.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be not musical.
Yeah, I'll be like, how do you like this pedal?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty good, right?
So when we get into 3 and 4, this is where we get into tube screamer territory, which if you don't know, that's one of the most famous overdrives of all
Ivan
time.
has green pedal,
Right.
max onto what?
Exactly. Yeah. So 3 and 4 are pretty tight overdrives. And so this is the 3. And so Sean is actually gonna play some. Go ahead and give me like an A major to like an E minor 7. Like the breakup on this is go
Like
like an E minor.
E
Like
minor,
an
E
yeah.
minor.
Just-
So it's like a hammer on it.
Yeah.
And I think if
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of experience with distortion pedals, like having a distortion that is clean. Like anytime you're playing extended chord and you're hearing more than just a beefed up version of a root note, right? Like root note, power chord, super power chord, heaviness. If you can really get the articulation.
And then of course, like using the bandwidth in this same setting 3 here, as you turn it up, I mean, it's still. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, voice 4 here, and as you can see, I'm leaving pretty much everything at noon here. Again, we're using the gain A, and you can see it's at like 11 o'clock. So like we're not using a lot of breakup. We're gonna get to the gain B setting so you can see the heavier side.
Yep.
I'm using the normal on this dip switch here because we want it to be normal and bright, right? And then this buffer switch also just does the same thing. These two switches kind of tighten up your sound and make it brighter. You know, that's not that's not what we're focused on.
And especially if you're in a mix with a band, you kind of want a good amount of brightness without harshness. It's a fine line.
Exactly.
Think,
yeah. You know? So for our purposes, you know, we're gonna leave them off. But like he said, if you're in a band, you might need that to help cut through, which like adds to the pedal's versatility. I mean, geez. So now we're on voice 4, which is as close to a tube screamer as the thing gets. It sounds great. Actually, I'm gonna turn this bandwidth up on the 4th channel, and Sean's gonna play the same riff that he played for the intro.
Okay.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
So. It's like super throaty, you know?
Yeah, and especially with octaves, right?
Yeah,
if
yeah.
An octave, you know, if here's a power chord, a 1, a 5, and an 8. If you kind of take that 5 out of there, you're left with like a really just a nice.
Oh man,
that's nasty.
I love this pedal. I really do.
This is a fantastic one.
So now, when we go to voice 5 and 6, it's gonna get looser. And 6, honestly, I mean, it could be a fuzz pedal, the 6 voice. So we're gonna go to 5, and I'm keeping the bandwidth right here, and 3, and Sean's just gonna riff it out.
Same thing. That's fuzzy right there.
So now, actually, I'm gonna ask that you do. You don't even have to play the whole thing, but you got a riff. You know what song I'm gonna ask you for the fuzz?
I already, yeah. All right. You don't even
so
have to say it.
We're gonna use voice 6. We're gonna turn the bandwidth all the way up, and we're gonna show you. This is the first time we're gonna go into the gain B. So he's gonna play a riff with the gain A. Then I'm gonna initiate this switch, which takes it through the gain B circuit. It's gonna be a lot higher gain, not only because I have the gain dialed in much higher, but because the circuit itself is a higher gain circuit.
Okay.
So why don't you give us a little bit of this riff?
We're talking about the same riff.
Oh yeah. That's fine. It's awesome. And so what you
screwed that up a few times,
it's okay.
But whatever.
By
the way, Plug-in Baby by Muse, the greatest fuzz riff of all time that I always screw up.
Just give me like a that's man. It's got good sustain and good articulation.
It was matched to the harmonic minor.
It is beautiful,
right? Just like a.
It's an awesome pedal. Yeah, it really is. And
then you can probably get a.
Yeah.
It's probably a feedback machine if that's kind of what
it is.
you were
Yeah,
going for,
you can absolutely. Yeah, when I'm closer to my amp, I can definitely get good feedbacks out of it. So also, I mean, like I like Mastodon, I like Parkway Drive, I like that kind of stuff, and I definitely in the bridge pickup, this thing can definitely riff with the B gain circuit. All right, come on now. We're all having a good time.
Yeah.
A 20. Yeah, because that was a pretty bad violation. That was a bad violation.
What are we gonna do with this money?
we're gonna buy a tube screamer, I guess, and then defeat the purpose of not playing blues licks.
There you go.
So really, that's like a pretty good overview of like what the pedal is capable of.
Awesome. I mean, the sustain is what?
Yeah, and this is my favorite setting. It's voice 4, bandwidth 3, or bandwidth 4 on the gain.
Ooh, I like. Ooh, this is where it's at. That's nat. Oh,
and then if you have like for this setting in particular, if I turn the tone just to noon, and you keep the if you put the guitar in the neck pickup and do like the arpeggio lead kind of stuff, I mean it. I love it. Real throaty, you know what I mean? I mean it's not gonna like cut through a mix real well. But, there you go. Yeah, I love the throaty stuff.
That's pretty.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Yeah.
So basically, the way it works is as these voices go further up, the general rule is that they get more distorted, right, leaning towards the fuzz at 6, and then as the bandwidth goes down, right. Yeah, it's on 4.
They're very dependent upon each other.
Exactly. Yeah, and so like the gain A circuit right here. I mean this is the same pedal.
Exactly. That's just, to me, this sounds like the gain on a clean amp.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And so now all I'm gonna do is engage the higher gain circuit. Awesome. But we can also do the same thing by increasing the bandwidth. I mean, I feel as though I may even have to do a second video on this just because I'm going to figure out all these different tones that you can give with this pedal. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, and it responds to the technique of the player too.
Yeah, and so we could demonstrate that again by going like right here,
like especially palm mute.
It almost sounds clean.
And again, this is full volume the whole time.
Right.
I'm not backing off to kind of like choke the signal or whatever. This is all full.
So, and one of the other unique things about the pedal videos we're going to do is ask questions. Maybe in like 3 weeks, a month, whenever like they stop coming in, I'm more than willing to do a second video on the Earthquaker Devices Palisades to help you decide if it's the right pedal for you to buy.
And another just a moment to talk about Earthquaker Devices, the company. Yeah? We've talked about this in other videos. Cool company that they stand behind their stuff.
Yep.
So if something goes wrong with it, they'll take care of it.
That's right.
It's not like an extended warranty thing like some bigger companies might try to sell you out of a big box store or something like that.
Yeah, and I think they're out of Ohio. I'm pretty sure. Like
Midwest.
Sure. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's awesome. So yeah, definitely check it out. Pretty good.